Hello, my name is Dilara KAPLAN. I'm a master's degree student on nutritional sciences at Trakya University. Today, I'm going to present you the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on nutritional habits, an approach of immune-boosting nutrition. And while I'm presenting this topic, I'll mention what COVID-19 is, how COVID-19 affected our world, its effects on human psychology and life, and nutritional approach. Different types of coronaviruses have been around for so many years, and COVID-19 is one of them. It occurs as a large ribonucleic acid virus that infects the human respiratory tract. Infection can cause fever, dry cough, difficulty in breathing, fatigue, lung infection, and death. It's known to infect human airways from the luminal side, and also viruses are released from the same side, so it makes it easier to spread through coughing and sneezing. And periods of isolation can elevate glucocorticoids such as cortisol, and can inhibit many critical functions of our immune system. Of course, it's not just the periods of isolation, but the fear of contagion, quarantine, and stigma, as well as with potential misinformation overload. They both can lead to psychological stress and anxiety. And we know quarantine induces stress, depression, and anxiety, which leads to sleep disorders, unhealthy diet, and reduced physical activity. Many people's response is not to avoid food when they're stressed, but they seek out and consume energy-dense foods, especially foods high in sugar and fat. And this desire to consume that kind of specific foods defined as food craving. And when people craving for carbohydrates, it encourages the production of serotonin, which has a positive effect on mood. A strong immune response is key factor against infection and against the novel coronavirus disease. To keep immune system strong, we have to consume high amount of minerals, antioxidants, and vitamins in a healthy and balanced diet. Especially vitamin A, C, E, D, and minerals such as zinc, copper, iron, selenium are really important to strengthen the immune system. Consumption of foods that contain or stimulate the synthesis of serotonin and melatonin, such as almonds, bananas, cherries, and oats, can have positive effects on both mood and sleep. And milk and dairy products also suggest to synthesis of serotonin and melatonin because they are the main sources of the amino acid of tryptophan, and they can cause sleep. Also, yogurt is an important source of probiotics, and these bacteria exert effects on immune modulation by increasing macrophage and increasing natural killer activity and numbers. Vitamin D insufficiency is linked with advanced stage obesity, male sex, hypertension, and all of which are associated with poorer outcomes. They strongly link to a range of COVID-19 risk factors. And it has been shown that vitamin D is associated with increased anti-inflammatory and decreased pro-inflammatory cytokines in older adults. So we believe consuming vitamin D is important to help during cytokine storm relevant to COVID-19 patients with ARDS, which means acute respiratory distress syndrome. And main source is sunlight, and we can also find in oily fish, liver, eggs, fortified food spreads, and some breakfast cereals and mushrooms. Vitamin C supplementation is known to support respiratory defense mechanisms, preventing viral infections and reducing their duration and severity, as well as having antihistamine properties, which can improve flu-like symptoms. So vitamin C decreases the levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, including TNF-alpha, and increases anti-inflammatory cytokines. Thus, it can help prevention and support of immune responses while cytokine storm during COVID-19 infection. And some of the sources are orange, red and green peppers, strawberries, broccoli, potatoes, and tomato. Vitamin E is the most important antioxidant in biological membranes of all cells. It has been investigated as a private measure for many human conditions, including heart disease and cancer. And adequate intake of vitamin E-rich diet can help patients with COVID-19. And some of the sources are vegetable oils, nuts and seeds, wet germ, sunflower oil, peanuts, eggs, tuna, and salmon. Omega-3 PUFA, it exerts a strong immunomodulatory effect by suppressing pro-inflammatory cytokine production, and macrophage-mediated cytotics and neutrophil monocyte chemotaxis. It can affect with different mechanisms. And many seeds, vegetable oils, and nuts and fish are important dietary sources. And zinc as a cofactor, it's an integral component of more than 300 enzymes, which exerts the human immune system. And the doses of more than 75 milligram has been suggested to have promising antiviral effects against common cold viruses, including influenza virus. And mild adverse effects of zinc supplementation have been reported with dosages above 200 milligram. So relatively lower dosages may also reduce the severity of COVID-19. And some of the good sources are meat, cheese, some grains and seeds, cereals, and seeded or whole grain bread. Yeah. And those are my references. Thank you so much for your time.